Gita, and we'll be continuing the slokas. Okay. Up to you. Just a quick recap. Can any one of you say the six questions? What Arjuna has asked the Lord Krishna?
प्रकृति मातादी प्रकृति पुरुष
Hmm.
क्षेत्रम क्षेत्रज्ञ ज्ञानम ज्ञानेयम
Gneyam.
ज्ञेयम.
Yeah. Yeah, Prakriti means the material nature. Purusha is the enjoyer. Kshetra is your body. Kshetrajna is the knower of the body. Yes. Jnanam is the knowledge. Gneyam is the object of knowledge. Of all this, Krishna answers also your body. Who is the Kshetrajna? The knower of your body and the knower of all the universal bodies. The owner of everything is Supersoul or Lord Krishna. So in this way, he answers each and everything. And afterwards, we have also seen the different types. What are the different in up till now we have seen all the six questions. After that, we have seen that how our body is composed of. What is the composition of our body? Mani Prabhu, go ahead.
Individual knower, super knower.
Yeah, individual knower and
Soul,
the super
super soul.
knower.
Soul,
Super
super soul.
soul. Yeah, that I know. What are the constitutions of the body? Constitute of body, gross body, subtle body. I have given you different. No,
Yes, Mataji.
yeah, that one. Constituents or the composition of the body. What are the
Glass
24
body.
elements?
Earth.
5 gross elements,
5
senses.
physical elements, Panchabhutas.
Mm,
5 senses, working senses.
mm,
Object of senses, physical
okay.
elements. Mind,
Okay.
intelligence, false ego.
Mm. Five pradhana.
Pradhana. Yes, Mataji.
Unmanifested form is pradhana. So these are the elements our body is constituted. But also after this, when it is in unmanifested states, these are the 24 elements. When it is in manifested state, soul and super soul will enter. Soul and super
25.
soul is one entity. If you take it as one entity, it is 25 elements. If you
Yes,
take
Mataji.
super soul and soul as two entities, it will be 26. But normally we'll say as one entity. So when it is unmanifested form, your body is constituted of this one. If it is in a manifested form, that is, you are in a living entity. You are a living entity, your body consists of the soul and super soul also. So, and what are the qualities it is of the body? The body will be having different transformations from birth. After birth, it comes to childhood. After childhood to youth, to again to reproduce. Then again old age, and again the death. So these are the transformations of the body. But the soul is having any type of transformations? It is not having any type of transformation. It is 1 by 10,000 part of your tip of your hair. So the soul doesn't have any type of transformations. Only your physical body is going to have transformations. And I also given that what is the gneyam? What is the knowledge? We have to know knowledge. Knowledge means it is having, because as we are as the soul is entrapped in this material body, how to come out of this material body? We have to know. That is the object of knowledge. So to cultivate this knowledge, Lord Krishna has given us 20 qualities. What are the different qualities? Murli Prabhu, go ahead.
24 qualities, Mataji.
20 qualities, Prabhu. 24 are the elements of your body. 20 qualities. Humility, pridelessness, awareness,
Yes,
equipoise. Yeah, these are ahimsa, shanti, inter. And also, what are the two main important qualities? What we have seen. The
Humanity. Humility.
two main qualities.
Brightness.
I'm asking two main qualities. Two main qualities. Yeah, humility, everything is there. Two main qualities. These are mostly done in our classes. I am emphasizing on these two qualities only. Any one of you?
Cultivating
Unalloyed, undeviated devotional service to the Lord.
Okay. How we are going to get this unalloyed and devotional service? Through which media?
Uh,
Through the bona fide guru,
bona fide spiritual master.
bona fide spiritual master. These two are most important. After this, all the other byproducts will be continuing. Yeah. So cleanliness, readiness, self-control, renunciation, different qualities will be continuing. But the main two qualities what we have to have to take a bona fide spiritual master in one parampara and to learn from him. Tadvid pranipadena pariprashnena sevaya upadeshantite jnanam jnanina sattvadarshanaha. So who has already known the truth of Krishna, he is going to explain us. So we will be getting the same knowledge when it is coming to parampara. Yeah. As Krishna is giving to Arjuna, the same knowledge is passed on from Srila Prabhupada to all of us. So this knowledge is pure. And what is our parampara? Gaudiya Madhav parampara. Brahma Gaudiya Madhav parampara. So in this way, we have to know what are the two main qualities? Constant, unalloyed devotional to the Lord. As we know that what is the essence of Bhagavad Gita? Anyone of you?
Never forget Krishna.
Always remember Krishna.
Always remember Krishna.
He is the essence and mode and mission of Prabhupada. And preaching is the essence of Bhagavad Gita. So we have to know it first ourselves, then we have to preach to different groups. So that each and everybody will get the benefit of this knowledge. Okay. Now, up till now, we have seen this 20 elements, which out of this 20, if this 20 are known, everything is known to the out of this 20, after this 20 inti qualities, whichever is there, everything is going to lead us to Maya. That is the backside of Krishna. Krishna is in your front, and the shadow of Krishna is nothing but Durga Devi or Maya. So if you are going towards Krishna, you will be cultivating different qualities. How will be cultivating? In the association of devotees. In the association of devotees, if you are going to appreciate, if you are showing gratitude to someone, that quality, the other person who is having that quality, we may also get that little bit qualities of that. Unknowingly, we are going to get that. Okay. These qualities, that is pridelessness, tolerance, how we have to be cleaning, how we have to do different things, how we must not have any type of false ego. All these qualities, by seeing the person Bhagavata, we can understand and how we can mean. And some of the qualities are there that are only for Gyanis. Mostly all the qualities are for devotees. So out of these 20 qualities, 18 qualities are common for each and everyone who are going to come in this path of Bhakti Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Karma Yoga, whichever may be the yoga, the devotees. Of course, who may be, the path may be different, but the ultimate goal will be one and the same. In this way, now we are going to know about Gnayam. Gnayam is the object of knowledge. What is the object of knowledge? Object of knowledge is what we are going to learn. In knowledge, we know these 20 elements of knowledge are there. These qualities, if we are going to confirm that, we will be in perfect knowledge. What is that perfect knowledge? The perfect knowledge is the perfect knowledge of soul and the super soul. What is soul? What are the difference between soul and super soul? Any of you?
Soul is fallible. Super soul is infallible. Soul is perishable. Super soul non-perishable.
living entities are known as Jivatma, and God is Paramatma.
Anu Vibhu.
Infinitely
Yeah.
small, infinite.
Infinitely big. So now the object of knowledge. Object of knowledge is nothing but the soul and the super soul. How the soul is different. because this soul is entangled in our body. So why we know that Kshetrajna, two Kshetrajnas. And the two enjoyers are soul and the super soul. Yeah. But the main enjoyer is the super soul. Yes or no? So
Yes,
now
ma'am.
we'll be knowing how. By knowing the object of knowledge, what we are going to get. Why we have to know? Because this, when you know these are the different qualities are there, these 20 qualities, if I'm going to develop these 20 qualities, is I may be having the knowledge. But if you are having that knowledge without any practical use of it, is it having any value? Without practicality, it doesn't have any value. Now, gnayam is the object of knowledge, that is practicality or the practical application of this knowledge. So now we will be seeing different qualities of the super soul. So here Krishna is explaining different qualities of soul and super soul, how they are, how you can see them. So can you read from 13 to 19 slokas? Any one of you? Because I have explained earlier also, just we'll go on fast reading.
13 to
19.
okay. The soul and the super soul. 13.13. I shall now explain the knowable, knowing which you will taste the eternal. Brahman, the spirit, beginningless and subordinate to me, lies beyond the cause and effect of this material world.
What is the
13.1.
cause and effect of this material nature?
Brahman, the spirit, beginningless and subordinate.
No, cause and effects of material nature, because material nature is having three modes of nature. No, it is the mode of goodness, mode of passion, and mode of
Ignorance.
ignorance. So by this three, if these three modes are acting on a living entity, so their consciousness in different levels, yes,
Yes,
according to the circumstances. So now the transformations, why these transformations are required? These transformations, that is, we have to know what is knowable. What is the knowable? That is the soul. Because you are a body, when you come to into normal state, you will be every time in your bodily consciousness. Explain the knowable. Knowable is the soul, knowing which you will taste the eternal Brahman. That is the super soul. You will realize that super soul is also staying. For some of the Gyanis will be there, no? For some Gyanis, no? What realization? It will be Brahman realization. That is the affluence of the Lord. And they will say that the super soul is subordinate to the super soul. So whatever may be the cause and effect of this material world. Is material world, no? Material world is the transformations. What are the transformations? We can know that Jiva is beginningless. How you can see? Because the Jiva is transmigrated from one body to other. So nobody can say that at which point the Jiva has started or which point the super soul has started, because they are from Sanatana, they are from millions and millions crores of life. So it is beginningless, and the soul is always subordinate to the super soul. Next.
Next, 13.14. Everywhere are his hands and legs, his eyes, heads, and faces, and he has ears everywhere. In this way, the super soul exists, pervading everything.
See, here
13.1.
just a moment.
Yes,
See,
ma'am.
the super soul is existing everywhere. That is, the super soul is pervading. How is the super soul? Super soul is in between the minute atoms also, because the atom is the minute one. In that atom also, the super soul is there. And the super soul is there in all the living entities as Paramatma. And the super soul is there in everything, whichever the form you take, the super soul is pervading. So if so when it is pervading in a living entities, when you can move your hands, legs, eyes, head and faces, and soul is not living, is living with you, and also he's living outside of you. So Krishna is living with you as a Paramatma feature, and Krishna is living in Golaka Vrindavan in the Bhagavan feature also. So when you are going to speak anything, think towards Krishna, Krishna can hear you. Because as a soul, you can do only limited qualities with your hands, legs, and your physical elements. And your mind may be having only little bit capacity. But Krishna is having unlimited capacities. And he is all pervading. And he can do anything. See, by seeing when you are offering bhoga to the Lord, if the Lord glances on it, the bhoga is purified and it turns into a prasadam. Means the glance of Krishna can do everything. See, he can eat with his glance. Normally, we can eat with your glance. Nothing. See, for example, when Rama went near a ocean and he wanted to build the Ram Setu on the ocean, Rama was having that in the mind. When Rama saw the ocean with his eyes. At that time, the ocean was boiling like anything. See, that is the power of Rama's eyes. That is the object of Rama's eyes. If you take an example of Krishna, Krishna showed all the universes to Mother Yashoda in his mouth. See how powerful they are? Because they have shown it physically. But we are very anu, so we can't do all that. So we are having lot of defect. We can't see. We can see only up to a limited distance. We can hear only the hearing audibility will be very little, and we can speak only for few minutes, but we can't be speaking for whole the day. So the eligibility or the concentration power, memory power, everything is limited with our jivas. Whereas for the Supreme Lord, if I'm going to speak here also, he can hear from Goloka. Because he is everywhere. He can do he's not only the owner of your body, he's the owner of everything. He's the supreme controller, supreme maintainer, supreme proprietor of everything. Yeah. So in this way you have to see that he can see with your hands like faces. We can eat only prasadam with our hand. We can't eat prasadam with our eyes. But Krishna is having that quality. He can do anything with his eyes, anything with his senses, because he is Sachitananda Vigraha. Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachitananda Vigraha. Because he is every time in blissful and he is every time in the Ananda stage. But we are accompanied by Maya. That is, we are entangled by Maya. We'll be doing only what are the things we are doing. See, if we are going to a car shop, I need to buy X model of a car. So if I go for the car shop, you can see many cars in that. So whichever the model I like, I can pick. But I need to have the capacity to buy the car, no? If I'm not having that, how can I buy? So in this way, this example is clear, no? I'll just in the similar way, Jiva is entangled by his karma. What is the karma? The good karma and the bad deeds, good deeds and bad deeds. If he is going to have good deeds, he is going to have a happy ending. If he is going to have many bad deeds, he is going to confirm it. So this material energy or the material nature, Maya, is just helping the jiva to finish all his desires so that it can go back to its own position. It can back to Godhead. But here the material nature is doing its thankless service because if a per- I'll give you a small example. If a person is following all the laws when he was, there will be no penalty. If the person is driving in the car and he has exited the limit of the speed, he's going to get the penalty. Yes, the punishment is awarded to him as a penalty. So when you are following everything correctly, there is no penalty. If you are going to be against it, you're going to happen. So as the jivas, what we have done when seeing Krishna with all his when we have turned our eyes away from Krishna and we wanted to enjoy our free will as the proprietors, we came back to material world. So we are enjoying. Our propensity of enjoyment is there in this material. But we are very few in nature, but we are also striving to go back to Godhead. as devotees is we know that Krishna is the supreme maintainer, supreme provider. So we need to go back to Krishna. In the same way, here also Jiva is there, no? Jiva is entangled in the body, and it has to take its different bodies. At the time that what will happen, there will be transmigration. Transmigration means when the body is left, when somebody, if you have seen it, many, all of you have seen the dead bodies. Nobody is there who has not seen. So in any family, there is any person who has not died up till now. Nobody in the world. For each and every family, all the ancestors are left. The same way, when the body is there, the soul will be transmigrating. So with the subtle body, that is mind, intelligence, and ego, it goes to the other body. At that time, other body, how will the other body be provided? According to your karma, according to your good and bad deeds. It is your bank account, what you are going to do. So with that account, whatever the body means, templates of Brahma are also available, no? How many species are there? 8.4 species templates are available by Brahma. And Durga Devi is giving you the body. How Durga Devi will get that persons from Vishnu? Vishnu Durga Devi is going to get who are the people they wanted to come to this material body. They are just pushed from Garbhodak Sai Vishnu to Maya Devi. It's Durga Devi. From Durga Devi, these people are going to get the bodies according to their karma features, according to the good karma and bad karma. And according to that, this jiva is entrapped in that body. So we have to know what is knowable and what is unknowable. It is jiva is entrapped. And also this jiva, we have to see that Lord is pervading in all the human bodies. How he is pervading? He is pervading as Paramatma feature. Is it clear, Prabhu?
Yes, Mataji.
Why I have said this? No, because because here the super soul is the sense of all the senses, and he is the source of everything. He is devoid of material nature. Because this soul, what the living body is there, it is every time it is attracted to this material nature. But Lord is inside and also is outside. Inside us as Chitta Guru and outside as the Guru representation. So difference is there. So outside and also inside. Go for the next sloka, Prabhu.
Text 15. The super soul is the original source of all senses, yet he is without sense. He is unattached, although he is the maintainer of all living beings. He transcends the modes of nature, and at the same time, he is the master of all the modes of material nature.
Here, transcendence means he is not he is aloof from the modes of nature. He's above the modes of nature, and he is the master of modes of nature. Next.
Text 16. The supreme truth exists outside and inside of all living beings, the moving and the non-moving, because he is subtle.
Subtle.
He is beyond the power of the material senses to see or to know. Although far away, he is also near to all.
Yeah, next.
Next, text 17. Although the super soul appears to be divided among all beings, he is never divided. He is situated as one. Although he is the maintainer of every living entity, it is to be understood that he devours and develops all. Text 18.
See, just a moment. Here, the super soul appears to be divided among all beings. See, because the super soul, every living entity is also having the soul and super soul, no? So here the super soul is divided into different living creatures. So it is divided, and it is never divided. Purnasya Purnamadaya. Every time the super soul is complete. How many equivalent fractions may be the super soul divided, but the super soul is the complete whole. Here we have to know that now we are doing any job. So we may get the salary for that job. Means that is a quota that is allotted for that work. So in our life also, we are having some quota. That is the food or the clothing or the whatever the furniture you are going to use it, whatever the way you are going to learn, whatever the modes of nature, you are given some quota of that work. So when you do that work, you'll get. But if you don't want from that quota, you want to go into others and you want to steal their quota, then you are also creating again sin. If you are enjoying according to the laws of state, nothing is going to be having. But when you are going against the laws of name, there will be a punishment, no? So here also, Supreme Lord is devoid. He is divided into many, many elements also. He's the one. Afterwards, what happened at the time of indignation, all the living entities, they are divided. So everybody is annihilated. So at that time, again, super soul becomes only one individual. At the time of creation, the soul will be divided, and at the time of annihilation, again the super soul becomes one. Divided and devoids of one. This point is clear, Prabhu?
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah.
Text 18.
Yeah. Go ahead, Prabhu.
He is the source of light in all luminous objects. He is beyond the darkness of matter and is unmanifested. He is knowledge. He is the object of knowledge, and he is goal of knowledge, and he is situated in everyone's heart.
Yeah. He is the source of light in luminous objects means we know that the sun is one. So I want to keep different. I want to keep 10 to 15 pots of oil under the sun. So I'll keep all the parts in one area. So at that time, sun of the sun is one only. It is going through different parts, but it is only one, no? So here also you have to see that the supreme energy is one. You got this, Prabhu?
Yes, Mataji. Text 19. Thus, the field of activities, the body, knowledge, and the knowledge knowable have been summarily described by me. Only my devotees can understand this thoroughly and thus attain to my nature.
See, who are the people they understand this Gnayam and Jnanam? Only the devotees will be understanding this Jnanam and the object of Gnayam. So now you know in this section what we have known that how to see the super soul. Super soul in our body, soul and super soul. These two. What are the difference between soul and the super soul? How the super soul is going to act. The super soul may be one, but it divides in differences. As it is in outside, inside, and it is not entangled to this material nature. This is the section that differs about the soul and the super soul. Are the differences clear, Prabhu? Yeah, we'll go to the next section. Just go ahead, Prabhu, for the next section.
Yeah. Material nature and living entities should be understood to be beginningless. Their transformations and the modes of matter are products of material nature. Text 21. Nature is said to be the cause of all material causes and effects, whereas the living entity is the cause of the various sufferings and enjoyments in this world. Text 22. The living entity in material nature thus follows the ways of life, enjoying the three modes of nature. This is due to his association with that material nature. Thus, he meets with good and evil among various species. Text 23. Yet in this body there is another transcendental enjoyer who is the Lord, the supreme proprietor, who
Proprietor.
exists as the overseer and permitter, and who is known as the supersoul. Text 24. One who understands this philosophy concerning material nature, the civil living entity, and the interaction of the modes of nature is sure to attain liberation. He will not take birth here again, regardless of his present position. Text 25. Some perceive the supersoul within themselves through meditation, others through the cultivation of knowledge, and still others through working without fruitive desires. Text 26. Again, there are those who, although not conversant in spiritual knowledge, begin to worship the Supreme Person upon hearing about him from others. Because of their tendency to hear from authorities, they also transcend the path of birth and death.
Enough, Prabhuji. Enough.
Hare Krishna.
We'll discuss this. We are going to see the action. What is the Purusha? What is the connection between Prakriti Purusha and this Jiva? What is the connection? We have seen up till now, no? We have seen the connection between, no? How Jiva is going to decide, whereas the Supreme Lord is going to sanction, and it comes in the form of Prakriti to the living entities, to the soul. So this is the connection. What is the connection? The soul desire, Supersoul sanctions through Prakriti. Prakriti is having the three modes of nature. So by three modes of nature, the soul is going to have its experiences. So these are the main things what we have learned. So now Krishna is explaining how this Prakriti, Purusha, and how they are union. So conditioned soul decide to control and enjoy matter and binds with the material nature. Why material nature is going to bind us? Because we wanted to enjoy material nature and we came away from Krishna. And what is Krishna? Purusha is the super soul or Krishna. So here we see that whatever material nature and the living entities are beginningless. Beginningless means they don't have any beginning. And they are Sanatana or Anadi, we can say. Anadi means when they came into existence, we don't know. Sanatana means from different crores and crores of life they are. And this material energy is also having lot of transformations of modes and nature. Here, transformations and modes of nature and the products of material nature. What are the products of material nature? If suppose a person is in Sattva Guna, where he'll be going? A person will be in Sattva Guna, he'll be in the association of devotees, reading Bhagavatam, Ramayana, Srimad Bhagavatam, be having a nice association with that. If a person is in Rajoguna, where he will be? He'll be always in the huge companies, working hard to get lots and lots of money for his family, and he wanted to be known in everybody. This way is the person who will be in Rajoguna. And how will be the person in Tamoguna? Tamoguna person he likes to enjoy liquor, he likes to enjoy sensual objects and other things. And so he needs that company. So different levels. According to the modes of nature, the person is defined. So in this way, but this material nature, it gives every time the sufferings. See, if one person is every time very interested in smoking, so he can smoke throughout his life. After a point of life, he is prone to diseases. At that time, he has to completely stop it. So he's having sufferings. That is a tamoguna person. If a rajoguna person also, he needs to work for the whole life. He can work.
No.
Maybe having different passions and other things also. He has to stop when he is in diseased state. In Sattvaguna, this Sattvaguna person, he is very pious person, doing all the rituals accordingly. But at the old age, what he is going to do? He has to also suffer the consequences. So this material world is dukkhalayam ashashvatam. This is temporary. Material world is temporary and it is also ashashvatam. It is not It is full of, every time it is full of distress. Distress, and it is temporary. And up till now we know this. But later on, what we know, we have to know about the bodily and the differences between the two knowers. Who are the two knowers of the body? Kshetra and Kshetrajna. Kshetra is the body, Kshetrajna is the knower of the body. The knower of the bodies, they are two in number. Who are the individual soul and the super soul. So when you know that living entity is only the Lord's energy, but its activities are in the body, so it is called as also Purusha. And the super soul is also known as Purusha. And these two are the knowers of the body. And similarly, this material nature is also eternal. Because Lord is eternal, his energy and the potency of the Lord is also in two forms. That is, one is the internal potency and other is the external potency. The external potency is called Maya. So this Maya is nothing but the material creation or the modes of nature according to this Prakriti. So these modes of nature are also the specific manifestations which are temporary. So you know that there will be this material will be having always constant transformation. If you see a plant, the plant will be also having the different transformations as a kid. It will grow, again its leaves will be shed off, again the leaves will be coming. So it is also having constant transformations. Whereas by nature, every living entity is going to change because we are accustomed to the circumstances. So this material nature, when this material nature is absorbed in the Supreme Personality of Godhead, that is Mahavishnu, at that time, Mahavishnu is only having this material nature. If he wants to create this, he is going to manifest it again. Why he is going to manifest? It depends upon the will of the Lord. If he wants to manifest some of the jivas who are rebellious yes, to the Lord, then he manifests the universe and he gives the different energies. So they are different. And also the living entity, from where we are going to get this living entity? Living entity is also the main pradhana is also from the Lord, from the Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, and the living entities are also sprouting from Garbhodakshaya Vishnu only. So everything is coming from Lord Vishnu. See, why we are coming to this material world? Due to our rebellious nature. And we came to enjoy here. And the Supreme Lord knows how to take back us to his abode also. Then who is giving you the punishment? See, some persons will be very good by seeing by seeing and hearing, will be purified, and they don't want to go there. Some persons will be there in that matter. If they suffer, once, next time they don't want to suffer. If some people will be there, if you suffer one time also, again they need that suffering. Just like a thief will be there, a thief will be stealing some gold or the things. Up till when he is not caught by the police, he is very safe. When he is caught by the police, he has to suffer. He has to suffer. And after that suffering, once he has suffered it, he doesn't want to do it again. That is, it's the second time. By seeing and hearing about this thief and how he has suffered, if the person is don't want to do any type of anything that is inappropriate. So that is through his intelligence. Means the discrimination power of intelligence, according to their level, it is happening. So in this way, Supreme Lord also knows whom and how to do that. So when you are going to pray to Krishna, the Krishna will give you the power to see Krishna, Guru. So that Guru knows how to take the soul back to Krishna. So Guru is the representative of Krishna. So Guru will say how you have to take your baby steps towards Krishna, how you have to, which path you have to do, what are the requirements immense given, so that you can achieve Krishna. Starting is Krishna, ending is Krishna. But in between, Guru is having the most important because he is the representative of Krishna. He might be, you can see him as a living example to follow him. So there may be many hardships, there may be many transformations, influences by people, but the spirit soul, must be is spirit soul is entangled by the material nature, whereas the super soul is not entangled by the either by this material nature, because it is transcendental to this material nature. So the relationship between the living entity is that it changes. The changes just are made by the material nature. So the nature is the cause of all the material causes and effects. Or the Kala, you can take. Kala is also, Kala means the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The time. See, if you are having many, many billions of rupees, also you can't earn back one second. That has gone. Yeah. The living entities also, they are having illusory, that is oneness and difference. Because of their desires and actions, they have come. Why different manifestation? Because in this material world, we are having how many templates from Brahma? 8.4 million templates. 8.4 million species are there, no? The different bodies. If we, I'm saying the different bodies, as we can, when we are doing a Microsoft Power project, we'll be having different templates, no? So different designs. In that way, our bodies are also the designs for Brahma. So 8.4 templates means different species according to the pleasures, according to the desires. When your soul is transmigrating, when your soul is going to transmigrate from the body, it will be having your mind, intelligence, and false ego in that. According to your creditable capacity. What is a creditable capacity? According to the pious activities of your karma, you are going to give a new body. Because why you are going to get this new body? Because your desires are unfilled. When your desires are completely filled, you are in the stage of liberation. This is said in 12.8. That is, you have to keep your mind and intelligence in Krishna consciousness so that your false ego is again transferred to ego. Your false ego is you are this body. Your false ego is not there. It will come as a real ego. And when you know that you are not this body, you are the soul, and you are every time offering your mind and intelligence in the service of the Lord, you are already liberated from this body. So in that way we have to progress. What is the cause why we are in this material world? The desire to lord over the material nature is the main cause. But the soul is pure. But this body is contaminated. See, this material place is a place of struggle. How we can struggle? See, as a person, as we have to wake up in the morning, we have to take our breakfast, and we have to run for the work, we have to run in the cars and different, we have to go in the traffic jam. Still we are doing all this, no? Why? To be the survival of the physicist. Because the living entity gets its body according to its past activities and the activity. So in this way, the laws of nature will be acting on the body and it behaves. And if the person is having the tendency to sleep for lots and lots of time, the body in the next life, the body will be the polar bear body. If the body likes to swim more, so in the next life, what will happen? The body, what the soul is going to get, it will be a fish body. If somebody want to have lot of sexual desires, then it will have the body of a pigeon. If the soul is going to have the desire to eat lot of flesh and bones, it will be having the body of a tiger. So this way different categories are there. So according to the desire of the soul, you'll be getting the next body. But if the body which you are having, and if the soul, if your mind and intelligence, yes, you are going to serve in Krishna consciousness, and you are going to change that false ego to real ego, at that time the person is liberated. So at that time he is not going to get any type of body. He is going directly to Vaikuntha. So every time in this material world, where whichever may be the living entity, moving, non-moving, every time, super soul is also accompanying in all the circumstances. Why we are in this Prakriti? So what is Prakriti and Purusha? Prakriti is is the material nature. Purusha is the real enjoyer. So, according to the union, according to the association of different good and evil things, all the different species will be coming at the time of transmigration. How you are going to change your clothes? You are going to change your bodies in that way. So we are very much attached towards this association of three modes. Then how we have to come out of it. This is the binding factor is the association of three modes where we are having. So how we have to come out of it? By the three modes. How we have to come? By transcendenting this mode. How? By hearing to the authorities, by taking best examples, by reading this Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavata, and through true parampara and to words. Every time cherishing what we need to enjoy. Because every time our mind will be wavering in such a way to see a nice movie, to see different musical collections. But when we see different movies and different things also, and so what our mind, our consciousness must be that that if a person is singing very well, the singing power is given by Lord Krishna. If a person is speaking very well, the elegantly without grammatical mistake, that power is by Krishna. If you are going to see everything in Krishna consciousness, we can change this effect. That is, can change this effect of binding our factor. The binding factor is the association. No, we have to come out of that binding rope. That is by hearing to the authority what the authorities are going to say and how our true Purana, because we need to get freedom from Prakriti. When we need freedom from Prakriti, we are turning our way towards the Lord Krishna, that is the true Purusha. Means he is the transcendental enjoyer, he is the supreme person, he is the permitter, he is the maintainer, everything. So in this way, the actual supreme Lord is glorified. That is role of he is the maintainer, real friend, he is eternally. Because living entity is eternally part and parcel, and that is Anu, and Lord is Vibhu. And living entity is the marginal energy, whereas the Lord's energy is supreme energy. And he is the supreme well-wisher for everything. What we have to do? Living entity, the relationship between the living entity and the supreme entity is we are the parts and parcel, and we are the latency. And Supreme Lord is the well-wisher in whichever way you are there. If you are, why the Supreme Lord has created all these different, because he has created the good qualities and as well as bad qualities. One time, no, what happened? No, one of the boy, one time one boy came to Srila Prabhupada and he was a smoker. At that time, this boy was saying, no, God has created all these material things for us to enjoy. So I like to smoke, so I'm smoking. At that time, Srila Prabhupada replied, there is a datura poison is also there. That is also created by the Lord only. Then go and drink. At that time, the boy said, datura poison, if I drink it, I will be lost. So I can't drink it. So in that way, when you have the discriminating power, why can't you discriminate which is good for you and which is bad? The discriminating power is given by the Lord, no? So you discriminate which you want to do. So by your intelligence, you have to come. So what is the intelligence? How we have to keep our intelligence in personal life? That is, we have to every time have faith in Paramatma so that he will be guiding us as Chaitra Guru, and how we can advance, how we are going to advance in our relationship. So the purpose of knowledge, the result of knowledge, what will be if you know that soul and super soul are accompanying, and you know there's different qualities of super soul, different qualities of soul, how this Prakriti and Purusha are acting with you, how he's sanctioning a authority, how the Prakriti is going to force you by his modes of nature, and how the soul is experiencing different energy, different desires. When you know this, when you know all this, what is the result of knowledge? The result of knowledge is the sanctioning upon me. When you everything, whatever the work or everything you're going to be in the service of the Lord Krishna, then at that time what you're going to have, at that time you will be liberated from this modes of material nature. That time you become a liberated person. The purpose of knowledge is to become liberated. How we can be liberated? By keeping all our senses, mind, and intelligence in the service of the Lord and changing our false ego to real ego. What is the real ego? That is, I'm not this body, I'm the soul, I'm the subordinate to the super soul. And my relationship with the Supreme Lord is eternal. So by knowing these three factors, that is the knowledge of the soul, where the person can be liberated out of his material clutches. So these can be done only in the devotional service. Excuse me. But there are many other people, no? These are only for the devotees. So devotees in the association of devotee, they'll be knowing about the Lord, the pastimes, Nama, Rupa, Guna, Leelas, everything. Thing they will be knowing. But in this world, oh, not only devotees, there are philosophers, there are different people are there, but they don't want to follow only this bhakti yoga. There are many yogas out there. No, some people like Gyanis means they want to follow this Jnana yoga. Some people are there, they want to follow Sankhya yoga. Some people know they don't want to follow this bhakti yoga, but they want to follow work is worship. That is karma yoga. So in that way, in true different qualities of yogis are there. But how they are, these people are also going to get this future because the two gates. That is the faithful. One is having faith in spiritual life. So these devotees, they will be renouncing the fruits and activities. But some people will be there who will be against the spiritual life. Who are there? The atheist who doesn't believe in God. They will be always in the spectacles of not understanding the God. They'll say that supreme power is there, it is acting. But they won't say that the supreme power is Lord Krishna or the supreme power is God. So every time they will be always be saying that they won't they will say that the supreme power is there, but there is no God. He is at the atheist. So, but for the devotees, the material nature, or whichever the material nature or the spiritual world, the personality of Godhead not exist. How? Within the super soul as a Paramatma feature, and outside also he is in Golaka Vrindavan. So some Sankhya features, no, they Sankhya philosophy. Sankhya philosophy means it's numerical philosophy. They analyze this material world into 24 elements, and they don't place this soul as a 25th elements. So if the soul is not this, if the soul is 25th element and the 26th element is the super soul, we are taking as two entities. But they can also, when they are doing this Sankhya yoga, when they are going to figure it out, oh, this is my body, this is my eyes, these are my ears, these are everything. And Sankhya to divide each and everything, if they divide and at last they get that my soul is there and super soul is there, at that time they come on, that people also come into devotional service. Means they can also come into devotional service and they are liberated. But what is the destination they are going to get? They are going to get only the Brahman feature of the Lord. They can understand can only the Brahman feature of the Lord, but they can't understand the Paramatma feature. But they know that soul and super soul know here, so they can understand only up to the Brahman feature and Paramatma feature. Sankhya philosophers can understand only up to Paramatma feature. But whereas the Karma Yoga, they are just doing their work is worship. They'll be doing their work and they'll be having faith in God. So many different people are there, but the progress in Krishna consciousness is very simple. That is, one can do one can do all his activities in favoring as keeping Krishna in the center and doing everything eating for the welfare of the Krishna. That is for the welfare of Krishna, for the service of Krishna. He can meditate. He can do nishkama karma without any type of attachments. Means in that way, if you are going to into worship the Supreme Personality by hearing from others, from whom we have to hear? Not hearing from an idiot like me, but we have to hear from the pure devotee. It is such as Prabhupada or the pure Bhagavatas who are the Maharajas, Sri Patak Swami Guruma, different lectures. At that time, appreciating the lectures at the points which you are going to take and having gratitude because you're going to get one more day having gratitude towards the God and hearing about the Nama, Rupa, Guna, Leela, Rupa, Upas of Krishna and chanting of Krishna, doing Ekadasi Vata, doing this Damodar Daradeep and Damodar, following the rules and regulators of Damodar Daravrata. So that in this way also you can be. Bhakti is very easy and the path of bhakti is very understandable. Who can understand this? But only the devotee. But some of the devotees of gis, gyanis, some gyanis will be also coming from. See, one time what happened? No, Chaturkumaras were there. Chaturkumaras are the sons of Lord Brahma. When Lord Brahma first give give birth to these four sons, they are called Chaturkumaras. Sanata, Sanatana, Sananda. And these four Kumaras, no, they were impersonal. They were impersonal means they feel that Lord is impersonal. So, personal form of the Lord was unknown to this Chaturkumara. So, as being the Brahmas, they can revolve, no, because by their power, but because of their pious activities, they were going. At that time, when they went near the door of Vaikuntha, when the Jay and Vijaya had stopped this four Kumaras, they immediately cursed this Jay Vijaya. At that time, Lord came from inside. That time, seeing the personality of God and smelling the Makaranda of Tulsi Devi, with these impersonalists, they have changed to the pure devotees, that is, personal devotees. From impersonal to personalism. Means, up till that, they were thinking that the Lord was only impersonal, only the effluence of the God. That is a Brahman feature. When they have seen the person, when they have feel the Tulasi Makaranda Vayu, by smelling the Tulasi, see, from the feet of the Lord, they became the personal devotees of the Lord. At that time, Lord pleased both the Kumaras and the Jaya and Vijaya. So in this way, some people, some of the jnani, some of the yogis, they may be, again, after knowing what is the actual sense of Vedas, if they are going to come to Krishna consciousness, they are also liberated in that stage. And they will be also going to Vaikuntha. But only a few of them. Means it is very, very rare for them. But to follow Bhakti Yoga, it is very, very, very simple. What is that? Always. If you have a desire to hear Bhagavatam, if you have a desire to hear Bhagavad Gita, if you have a desire to do chanting, if you have a desire to please Krishna through minimum, by using this Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam, by giving, everybody is having everything, just offering obeisances to the Lord. These are the simple things. In things, Lord is very much pleased. See, by good fortune only, these devotees, we came to this association. Why we came to this association? Because of our ajnana sakriti, due to our past karma, because of our good activities, we came to this association. By this good fortune, we can take the shelter of our pure devotees, hear from them, follow the footsteps, follow the rules. So our gradually will be elevated to this pure devotional service. That is pure Krishna consciousness. So, in this way, we have to develop our cult towards Krishna consciousness by following Ekadasi, by chanting different rounds. Every time when you chant the name of the Lord, your tongue is your tongue is always engaged in chanting. When you take, if you are going to take the Krishna Prasad, you will be purified because when you offer bhoga and it is offered to Lord Krishna by the glance of Krishna, everything is purified. When you are going to eat the purified item, your body is also getting purified. So your black holes of your heart are also getting removed by the Lord, by the service what you offer it to the Lord. So this is the difference between Prakriti, Purusha, and how the union of Prakriti and Purusha. Hare Krishna, I end my section today. Any doubts?